everyone! Today we're going to go over how to make this crochet bandana. For this tutorial I was using this big twist yarn in the color watermelon, as well as a 4.5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors to cut off our project, and this is optional, but you can also use a measuring tape to help you get to the correct dimensions for the bandana. We're going to go ahead and get started with a slip knot, which you can do as always however is easiest for you. And then once we have our slip knot, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then with this chain 4, we're going to make a slip stitch into the first chain that we did in order to make a circle. So we're going to insert our hook, and we're going to yarn over, pull that through the loop, the chain that we just inserted our hook through, and through the loop that is already on our hook. So now to get started, we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so into the middle of this circle here now, we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop from the yarn that's in the back. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 1. Now we're going to make 2 more. That's 2. And the last one for this cluster, that's 3. And now we're going to make what's going to be the point of our bandana. So we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then back into that circle here, we're going to put 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 1 last double crochet into this circle here. All right, so this is the beginning of our bandana. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to round 2, and we're going to start that by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn my work now, and into this spot here, that's the chain 1 space between this double crochet and this cluster of 3, we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now beneath us here we have this cluster of 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 in order to skip that, and into this space here that is going to be the point of the bandana, we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now we need to make that point again for this round, so we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and in this same spot here we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now beneath us again we have this cluster of 3. We're going to be working in here. So first we need to chain 1 in order to skip that cluster that's beneath us. And then right here, we're going to put 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3. And then we just need to make this straight edge here. So we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to put 1 singular double crochet into this spot again. And this is the second round completed. Alright. starting on the third round now, we're going to begin like we did for the second round by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to turn our work. So what these 4 chains did, 3 of them are going to act as if they are a double crochet to make this a straight edge here, and one of them is going to be for making the space here when we work into it for the next round. So now into this space beneath, we're going to put 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to be skipping this one beneath us, so we're going to chain 1, 3 double crochets again into this space here. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 again because we've reached this cluster, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into this space. 1, 2, 3. Now we need to make that point again for the bandana, so we're going to chain 2, and into that same space again, chain 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll chain 1, and into this space here, we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 to skip this cluster of 3 beneath us, and into this space here, we're going to put those 3 double crochets. 3, chain 1, and then to make the straight edge again, we're going to put 1 singular double crochet. So we'll go through one more round together, but for each round what we're going to do is we're going to start with the chain 4, and then in each of the spaces we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then when we get to the point, we're going to chain 2 instead. And then we're going to continue that until we get to our desired length. So we'll do this last round together, and then I'll meet you near what's going to be our desired length so we can go over how to add these strings to tie our bandana together. So we're going to start here by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn our work. And here we're going to put that cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 to skip this cluster that's beneath us. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, a cluster of 3 again here, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then a cluster of 3 again here, 1, 2, 3. Then it's time to make that point, so we're going to chain 2, and into that same space we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to skip this cluster of 3 that's beneath us, and then into this space another cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3. and then we're going to chain 1 again, put a cluster of 3 into this space here, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then our last cluster of 3 into this space here, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we just need to make that straight edge again by putting 1 singular double crochet. 1. So you can pause the video here. You can always go back using the timestamps below if you have any questions. But if not, I'm going to meet you when my project is a little bit bigger and I'm ready to begin the last steps of the bandana. Alright, so I'm about at the size that I want for my finished bandana. So if we take my measuring tape here, I'm at about 14 inches or 36-ish centimeters. You can see here if we count from the top here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds. But this could be impacted by how tightly that you crochet or what size hook or yarn that you're using. So if you see this previous bandana that I made, I was using a smaller hook and it took more rounds in order to reach this size. This one is 15 rounds, I believe. So an easy thing to do is that you can check the size of the bandana against your head. So you can just wrap this around your head like that and see when you get to a size that would be good for you. But yes, I'm about 15 inches, and then from the point to the end, right now I'm at about 8 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I finished my cluster of 3 and then the last double crochet here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chain 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. And I'm actually going to add one more. I'm going to have 51. So this is going to be the first of our ties for the bandana. So what I'm going to do now, skipping the first chain from the hook, is I'm just going to slip stitch into each chain until I get back to the body of the bandana. So I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain from the hook here. I'm gonna pull up a loop and pull it through the loop that's already on my hook. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I get back to the body of the bandana. Alright, so I'm at my last couple of chains here. I'm at my last one actually. So I'm just going to insert, I'm going to pull the yarn through the loop that's already on my hook. So now I'm back at the last double crochet here. So I'm just going to actually start doing 3 single crochets. So I'm going to insert my hook into this space. I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm actually going to do that until I get to the end space here where we're going to add our other tie. So in each of these spaces, whether it's the chain 3 or it is a double crochet, we're just going to put 3 single crochets until we get to the end so we can add the other tie. All right, so we're at the halfway point actually of our bandana here. So you see right here is actually the excess from our slip knot, and this right here is the circle that we were crocheting into to begin our bandana. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lay this excess flat here. I'm going to put 2 single crochets into the circle. And then for the rest of these here, I'm going to continue with the 3 single crochets until we get to the end. All right, so then we have our last 3 double crochets into this space here. 1, 2, 3. And now what we're going to do, like we did on the other side, is we're going to chain 51. And then just like we did on the previous side, I'm going to turn my work here so I'm working back right to left. We're going to skip the first chain on the hook, and then in each of the rest of the chains we're going to slip stitch until we get back to the body of the bandana. And a slip stitch, as always, is we're going to insert our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull that through the chain, through the loop that's already on our hook. Alright, so we're at the last couple of slip stitches here, the last one now. So I'm just going to do that last one here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch to the body of the bandana. And then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to put my work down, grab my scissors, and cut off. I'm going to lift my hook up here, pull tight. And then I do want to make sure that this is extra secure, so I am going to knot it here. But that is, of course, optional. And then the last thing that you would need to do is you would need to weave this back into the bandana. But this is our finished project. Please let me know, as always, if you have any questions down in the comments below, or if there are any other tutorials that you'd like to see in a future video. Thank you.